Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is the third Friday of the month if you are watching this live, and that means it is time for the next installment in the sketch challenge. You recall last month we did this sketch, and this was my take on that sketch. And if you follow my channel, you know that I said for this month I was going to create the companion page for this layout. So that is what I am working on for today with this sketch right here. Now let me show you how I got started with this layout. As you can see, I have brought in my Versa mat along with my piece of 12 by 12 white willow cardstock. And let me show you that sketch once again. If you look at it, it has 4 squares across the top and 3 going down. I wasn't sure about the size. I thought obviously it's too big for a 3 by 3. 2 by 2 looked a little bit too small, so I thought, well, maybe it's about a 2.5 by 2.5. So what I did, again, if you know me, you know I like to turn to my Cricut design space to help me with sketches before I start. So I did create the sketch on my Cricut design space first. I made a large 12 by 12 box, and then I added the squares. I got 2, and they were 2.5 inches square. Now you can see from my sketch that I am putting my photos. I have a square 3 by 3 photo here and a 3 by 4 photo here. These 2 are photos as well, and then some journaling in each one of these blocks. It looks like they had journaling in those 3 blocks, and maybe this was room for photos, pattern paper, whatever you like, a large title going across the top, and a couple little embellishment clusters. So that is what I did in Cricut Design Space to help me figure that all out. And I will link that design space for you down in the description box. So if you're interested in that sketch, you can use it for yourself. Now on my companion page, I did use some pattern paper from my stash, this pink and white polka dot. So I did have some more of that I do want to bring over into this page. I have here's the pink and white polka dot here, and on the other side was this real cute butterfly paper. And I do have a scrapbook layout that I created similar to this one that is in a grid fashion, and I will link that for you up here in a card up here in the corner. So I am laying these out in a grid fashion according to my sketch. And let's see, I don't have these spaced out properly yet, but I'm just laying them down. And then over here is going to be a little square photo. There it is. There we are. There's little Addison playing with her Magna-Tiles. Look at her serious little face. But she likes to build her castles with her Magna-Tiles. She was very serious about the whole thing too. All right, so then we've got a couple more of the pattern papers that go across the center. And you guys are going to be shocked because I don't think I am going to sponge the edges of my cardstock this time. I know, right? You're totally shocked. But I just decided to let it go this time. Keep it simple, especially if you're a beginning scrapbooker. This is a really nice, easy layout if you are a beginning scrapbooker. All right, so then we've got our journaling here. And as I often do, I type that up in my notes program on my iPad. Any word processing program that you have and are comfortable with would work. And let's see, I've got one more piece if I can find it. Here we go. And this is actually the reverse of that floral paper there, but I thought this was a nice complement to the color that I'm going to use for the title there. And there is the other little picture we have here, and I'll tell you about her little boo-boo there in a second. All right, so then let's look at our photos. I've got, this is my main photo, and according to my sketch, I am going to put it like that. And then this 3 by 3 photo, we are going to put right here. Okay, so then we're going to put a large title up here. And I just got this alphabet, the party alphabet dies, the other day, and I am so excited to use them. Take a look at these large dots. How big they are. Aren't they awesome? I just love them. So I did not put them on a magnet sheet yet, but I did take a Sharpie and trace around them so that I would remember where they went back and I wouldn't go a little bit crazy. So I decided to use Melon Mambo because that's the color that I used in my title here on the coordinating page. So I used Melon Mambo cardstock, and using that big alphabet die, I'm cutting out the word happy. So see, they are large, but they aren't super large, and I definitely have seen people use them on cards. So I'm going to be trying to use these in as many different ways as I possibly can. And when I cut them out, they're about a little over 2 inches, 2¼ inches tall, and about 1½ inches wide. So that's not too big to fit on a card, but I love it for a large scrapbooking title, obviously. So I wanted to say, you make me so happy. So then I went to my Cricut, and this will be included in that design file as well. And I just did a text box with a couple of offsets, and I'm just going to put on there, you make me so happy. All right, so I think I'm going to add a little bit of embellishment here and here and probably down here, and that will give you your 3 points of interest. I think I want to, I've matted these photos on white, but I think I want to kind of bring in some more of this Melon Mambo color. So let's see what those photos look like if I mount them on some Melon Mambo. So let's see, if I bring in the Melon Mambo and I put it like that, I do like how that kind of brings the focus to this main photo. And then I think I'll do it on this one as well, so that we have these two main photos standing out just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and get that mounted, and I think I'm going to go ahead and adhere all this down because I know that's where I want everything to be placed. Now I have not adhered the title down yet because I think I want to do maybe some sponging behind it to kind of bring it all together. And I'm going to use Pretty in Pink, which I thought matches that pink quite nicely. So let's just get our ink pad and one of the blending brushes, pick up some ink, tap it off on the paper first so I don't get a big splotch. And then let's just move these letters out of the way. Oh, here, I dipped it in the ink again without even thinking. And then I am just going to swirl it around under where the title will be. And yes, it's very subtle, even for me. That pink is very, very light. So I'll probably put a couple of different coats on there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and get that title adhered down. And then I'll be back to work on some embellishments. Once I have finished with that sponging, I am going to take my glitter brush in Ballerina and splatter it across the top of the page. Since I did some splattering on the companion page, I wanted to do it on this page as well. And these are glimmer brushes from Close to My Heart, which of course are no longer available. And I will leave a link down below to some other glitter brushes that you can get that are similar to those. Now you see here I am just adding some very simple embellishments around the title, and at the bottom of the page you'll see I placed some down there in just a minute. But these embellishments are actually from the Good Times Mix and Match Ephemera pack in our current catalog. And what's nice about these embellishments is that they are punch outs, and they are thick, kind of like a chipboard, but more of a thicker paper board. And they also have a sticky back to them, so they are like stickers. And I am just showing you here the different packs that you get. You get actually 3 different designs and 2 of each one of those designs in each pack. So you just peel off the sticker and then you can apply it down, and it makes it so simple, and it gives it a little bit of extra dimension to your layouts. After I get that title adhered down, and I did use some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere that subtitle part, I decide to work on the journaling blocks. And I decided I did print them on my white willow cardstock, but I did want to give them a little bit of sponging around the edges just to help them stand off the page a little bit. So I am using my mini foam dauber there to use the Ballerina ink to just lightly sponge around the edges of the journaling blocks. And Addie just loves walking, so we did take a walk over to the playground when I was babysitting. And as you might imagine, a 2.5-year-old isn't really good on balance all the time, and she stumbles a lot. So on the way over to the playground, she did stumble and fall and skin her knee. In fact, she does it so often that my daughter-in-law says she has perpetually skinned knees, but she has such a good time. So that is what I talked about a little bit in the journaling, as well as the different fun that we have. And of course, I did have to take a picture of her on the couch with her skinned knee and her goldfish crackers, watching her Paw Patrol, her favorite show. And you'll see here that I'm placing those little puppy dogs, and you saw the little girl that I did down there below. Those are some rub-ons from my stash, and I believe it's from 49 and Market. And if I can find that again, I will definitely link that for you down below in the description box. Now I love these little wordy bits from that stamp set called Celebrate Together. So I did ink one up and stamp it under the picture that says, "What a day." I thought that was appropriate for the day that we spent together. You'll see over here, my journaling block wasn't quite square, and I had a little bit of additional space down there, and I decided to fill that in again with the stamp from Celebrate Together. And I love this scalloped edge border, so I decided to it was perfect to fill in that empty space down below to even that out and make it look more square. But it was longer than the 2.5 inches, of course. So you'll see here, first I'm going to stamp on scratch paper to make sure it's stamping good, and then I'll bring in the post-it notes and put them alongside of the journaling block to mask it off so I don't get any extra ink where I don't want it, of course. So I'm just stamping or inking that up again, like I said, in the ballerina, and that matches the it's not ballerina, sorry, it's Pretty in Pink ink. Pretty in Pink ink. So sorry, my head was in the way. And I did give that an stamp down there, and you see I did actually rock that a little bit, even though I tell you not to do that. With that little skinny one, I wanted to make sure I got it full coverage all the way around. Now I wanted to bring in some of those sequins. I used those on the companion page, so I wanted to bring those in on this page as well. And what I do for sequins like this, I literally just take them and just kind of sprinkle them on the page where I want them, because I want it to look like a more natural sprinkled look. And then I just pick them up with my pickup tool and adhere it down with my Barely Art glue. Now, let's see. Yep, it's all finished. So I'll just show you each one of those embellishment clusters, but hang on, because I'm going to bring in the companion page and show you how I switched it up a little bit. If you recall, the companion page, I actually had done it on a piece of Pretty in Pink 12 by 12 cardstock with a small border of the blue. I deconstructed it and just put it on the white because I thought that looked better as the companion page. And for all the links for the products that I've used today, be sure to check that description box down below. And I'd love it if you would take a minute to hit that subscribe button. And for more crafty inspiration, be sure to check the playlist on screen. Bye for now. Happy crafting.